Kōrero, e wā no te wā, even though the kōrero time is this time, ngari ka rere anō te wā, time's flying as well. We know rā, e tangi ana te manu a te huia, huie, e haka hui te ai tātou i rungi te kaupapa nei. E tangi ana te manu a te tui ai. I tui ai, rātou kia mātou, rātou rā kua riwa atu ki te pū. E tangi ana te manu a te pī tangotango, ki rungi taku mauma whakahi, e tango ana te ngāko te tangata, nā, ko tātou tēnei, hui nei, e tau nei, ki he wā moriuna.
Kia ora.
Aia, te ata pua, te ata ka hāpara te ata. Kokoro ki te manu, kokoro hi te manu, ka waihuri te ngutu. Ko te ata nui, ko te ata roa, ko te ata ka hora noa ki tai, ki uta, ki tai. Hakiri kaua ki te tarina, ka rongo kau noa ki te ororo ta wā tapu nui tāne, kua ao, watia. Unuhea, te urutapu nui te wātea kia māmo, te ngā kau te tinana te wairua ki te ara takatā, o iara ero, wakairi a ki kirunga kia tina, hauni e hui ei, tāre ki e. E ka tūwa ke kirunga rāwhi tiki tāua heita matu. Kumea ki te uru, uia ki te tonga hiki, nuku hiki ki rangi ārara. Kangaru e, toi e te hauparangai, kia whakarongo taku kiri te kikine a te rehu tai o ngangaru whati a haruru mai me. Wi, wā, ia, ha. Ora hea o mata kia mere tuahiahi. Hai taki i te ara kia tangaroa he atu a hao i te tini ki te pō e. Koko ia e ara e. Tēnā tātou. Ka huri ki te reo tāhai whenua. I'll turn in the language that we all understand. The language we call, where I come from, tāhai whenua. It's a language that has taken our land. Ko te kōrero ai atunu nei, kua riro whenua atu me hoki whenua mai. The land has been taken, all we want is it back. I hail from the far north on my dad's side, te raro a te o Pauri ngā puhi nui tonu, and on my mum's side I hail from Parihaka. I'm hearing all these kōrero about balance. I have a kōrero ko tūki maui ko rongo ki matau. We tahi time ko taku kōrero ko ngā puhi ki tēnei taha, ko taranaki ki tēnei. I come from that my interpretation of ko tūki maui, ko rongo ki matau, is our world is all about balance. Tāne Māori mā, we're out of kilter. We need, me hoki wa we mai ki te whenua, we need to get back to our true knowing before we as tāne self-destruct. I'm a member of the Pāti Māori. We had a hui, and Kararaina said she needed some kaimahi to awhi. And I'm all arms, all ears to awhi any kaupapa. And when she told me it was about state wars, ko hau tēnā. Tēnā koe matua, Brent. I te tau ono te kau maono. In 1966 I was in Ipuni Boys Home. Tai noa ki te 69. From there, Hokio, from there, Kohite. Wasn't a very good experience, I tell you, e tika. The abuse that happened in there, not only physical, but sexual abuse that happened to us. A lot of us never came out of that until we were much older to grasp what it was. Because it wasn't seen as a manly thing to admit that something was done to you. Especially as boys, young men growing up. And yeah, we lived through that anger. We had to live through it. Suppress it, hold on to it, but never forget it. I was interviewed a few years ago, all of us that were over 50 at the time, a commission, I don't know what you call them, a commission. Ko tētahi he wahine, koe te tiati, Pākehā, Kuia Pākehā, she was the judge, the kaipakawa. There was a clinician, a pediatrician, and a scribe. 4 of them. I was a bit anxious going up before a panel. You know, it was in a flash place in a hotel. They paid for everything. Oh, pai te ra, pai te kai, pai te waire. So, being interviewed in this place, and I was allowed to take a kraua of mine. I took one of my koroeke no te tai topera, no Puke Poto. I took him, he's ex-Vietnam, and he had lived in America for 30 years after Vietnam. He went and lived there, but he came home. He was a lawyer over there. So he came to listen. After a 3-hour hui, the kuia pāhea goes, Pirini, I want to, it's against our policy for what I want to do, but I want to give you a hug. And I went, eh? And I went, And I looked at my koro, and he said, here boy, let her. So she hugged me, and I could feel her. She was, trembling and crying. She said, what you've been through and how you've turned out, I just want to commend you. And I said, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for my wife. Honestly, my kids even said to me, Dad, all your mates in Auckland will think you're soft now. I was always soft. But we had to put on that facade of being hard. Because if you weren't hard, you just bowed down and you just went with it. But now I was a stubborn ngāpush, stubborn ngāpuhi boy. And I wouldn't back down from anyone. Got a lot of hidings, but you learn from those. The reason why I was an Ipuni boys home, my mother and dad, I hear you talk about the 60s over in Canada. We had a system here called the pepper potting system in the 50s. I'm a product of that. My mum and dad were moved from their ahurutanga, their safe spaces of tight rural communities, tight hapu communities, tight fishing communities, moved into the cities on the premise and promise of good jobs with good money. The underlying factor was they were actually diluting our culture. When you critically analyse, that's what they were doing. And they're still doing it. So they're diluting our culture. Here's an example. When our people come home to Rangiwaia Island in Tauranga, one of the cousins goes, oh, I'm going home now. Our cousin, I thought you were from here. Oh, yeah, but I live in Auckland. And I says, yeah, you fellas, I shouldn't come back as tourists and go home as tourists. We got our aunties that's been in the kitchen for how many years? You need to bring your kids back so our aunties know who they are and take their place in the kitchen. We're not after your big envelope with plenty of money in. We don't need that. We just want you, the next generations, so that our aunties say, oh, I never thought about that, cousin. Well, actually, there's a broom and a mop over there. We've got shit houses to clean. There you go. There's your money. We need, as Tūroro said, at one hui, we had a symposium for Matthew Dixon in Tauranga Moana. Tākiri Te Ata was the name of the symposium. And he said we need to get quite brutal on our marae today. Brutal, I think that's a brutal word, but what other word can you use? Being straight up to your own people. Being straight up to your own people. We need you. I'm actually wanting to go into the prisons at some stage. I talk about targeting our soldiers for our marae. If we don't target them now, us as kaumatu are going to be doing everything from diving for the kaimoana, preparing the hangi, and rushing back to whai kōrero and karama. It's happening. It's happening whānau. So being brutal, it's not our word, but it works. Okay. I can harp on, I do harp on with kōrero because I've been given the space. Te nawe, kararangi. I had good and bad feelings in the homes apart from the abuse. As a state ward, you got clothes, brand new, flash clothes. And when I used to go home in the holidays, my brothers used to take them. Ka pai, take the lot. because I'll get new ones. That was a good thing about it. And you actually had good feeds. We had a good feed. At home we were scrapping for kai. I don't eat porridge anymore because that was our food, breakfast, lunch and tea. We used to have a thing called Nanny's porridge. When I found out that it was the same ingredients as glue, I don't eat it anymore. It's the same ingredients, just water and flour. We used to stick paper mache things with that same ingredients. So I knew as soon as I grew up, I wasn't going to eat porridge anymore. As soon as I was allowed to say what I can and can't eat. So I've never eaten porridge for over 30, 40 years. I'm a nanny's boy. How do you change this one? He kurahuna he kāpu haere. Te kurahuna kai roto I a tātou kato. This kurahuna, this, as the words, firstly you need to know about te reo Māori as opposed to translation. Our reo is all about interpretation, where we come from multiple sites of. And none of those interpretations are wrong. The thing that's wrong is Māori, we don't share how we get things. So therein lies the raru. So let's share. Kurahuna, it's a knowledge that it's been lost from us. And I'm glad, and coming to these forums, I'm actually being reintroduced to it from Rawiri, from the whole lot. These new kurahuna, they're there, but it's sort of been lost from, especially our upbringing in urban areas. No? E kāpua haere ia. I walked blind. That was how I walked. There was only one language and it was this. It was a good language. We could understand it. We were good at it. If you weren't good at it, you just sit down and just be one of the others. But now, as I said, I was a stubborn fellow. Waipiro e hea. This Waipiro, as I said, when my mum and dad moved to Wellington, they learned a new culture. They diluted my mum and dad's culture. Well, they tried. The new culture was Jake Damas. My dad was there, to a T. If he couldn't find anyone to bash at the pub, no. Here he is, here's the punch bag. That's why I ended up in Pirini boys' home. Ran away from home. Ran away from home. After this meeting with this kuia Pākehā and this clinicians and paediatricians, I read part of the reports because they grabbed all my reports from over those years in state law. And one of them was my father, when he visited me in the Pirini boys' home. He said we sat in a room for over 2 hours and never said anything or looked at each other. 2 hours. It was on the report. At 19 years old, I came back from Canada. I was in the Navy. It was an escape for me. Got my girlfriend pregnant at 16, so I did a real manly thing and ran away. I didn't understand my obligations to that baby at the time. It scared me. So I ran away. I needed to get somewhere, go somewhere. So I ended up in the Navy. Came back from Canada at 18. My brother said, bro, we're going to go up the pub and get on the skull with the old fellow. Come with us. Nah, it's not for me. And they said, come on, bro, we know you and Dad don't get on, but come for us. I've got 5 younger brothers, but come for us, we never see you. I said, okay. Went up. The old public bar days, chofa, payday, full. Gang members, or as Harry said yesterday, iwi, people. Full. As soon as I stepped foot in the door, my father said, hey, you don't like me, eh, boy? You could hear a pin drop in the pub. I said, nah, not really. And why is that, boy? I says, well, you know, when you couldn't find any of these idiots to punch over, here's your punch bag. I ran away from home because of that. Used to hear your car come up the drive. And I used to hope to hide under the bunk and hope the floors and the walls would open and swallow me, but no, you found me. So I ran away from home. When I was in Pirini boys' home, I was getting abused. Everyone in the pub heard this. Was getting abused, and I said to the housemasters, oh, I want to go home, screaming and crying to go home. They said, no, your father said he don't want you, throw the key away. Everyone in the pub heard this. You know what my father said to me? You want to do something about it now, boy? I looked for a gap in the pub. Nah, I'll wait till you're a cripple and an old prick. I'll come back and I'll effing kill you. Never saw him for 3 years. My mother found me, as your mums do. She found me. Boy, Dad, sorry. I'm sorry, we're all sorry. Hate him, hate you, hate the lot of you. I was one of the nastiest piece of work you could ever do. I hated people. I hated people. Any people. As I said, I used to go to, in the holidays I used to stay with my nanny on my Taranaki side. I never knew my dad's parents because I hated him, so I hated them. I loved my nanny. Couldn't speak any Māori. Every second word was a swear word. Her marae, her tupuna whare was public baths. That was my nanny. Tougher than any man I know. Tougher than any man I know. How do I change this?
Push enter.
What does that start with?
Enter.
Inama?
Aye.
As I said, no male role models. Unless you class John Wayne as a role model. Because he was the cowboy and army man. But his name was Marion. His real name. So my role models were female. Honestly, was my nanny, was my role model. And she swore. And her marae and her safe space was public bars, which became mine. That was my marae, my ao Māori. I could understand the language. I could read the language. I could read the body language. That was my safe space. What places that used to threaten me were these places. Marae Tuturu and Wānanga. All those know-it-all pricks. No, it was. Engari kua huri te ao. That worldview of mine has changed. The places that have threatened me now are public bars, are pubs. I haven't been into a pub for 18 years. I haven't drunk 4 health, my baby. 28 years. That was all my safe space. Loved it, lived it. When my nanny died, I wanted to go with her. So I had thoughts of committing suicide to die with my nanny. I said to her at her tangi, "Why, Mum, what am I going to do now? Who's going to look after me?" No answer. So I locked myself away for 3 months. Locked myself. The only time I came out of my room was to have a shower, have a kai. We'll go up the shop and buy a carton of smokes and OPG. OPG, the old wine. Yeah, all pure gold. They were my safe space for 3 months. Till I got caught at the wine shop. All my cousins worked on the rubbish trucks. Cousin, we're looking for people to go on the rubbish trucks. You're fit? And I went, come on, cuz, it's good money. Finish early. So I was a garbiologist for 10 years. It was the old days when you used to stack them. You used to throw the rubbish up and they used to be up the top and stack it. And then the bins, then you had to throw the bins up. Beautiful life. Beautiful. They took me out of my shell. And I didn't realise how much of a spoiled little prick I was when my nanny was alive. That's why I've got surrogate here, because I didn't realise until 20 years later that my wife was a surrogate nanny. She was doing exactly the same as what my nanny did to me. Looked after me, allowed me to do anything I want. So it's payback, whānau. I'm hopefully paying her back. I'm indebted to my wife, honestly. And when my kids said, "Oh, Dad, all your mates in Auckland will think you're soft now," I said, "Do you love me, my baby?" And my baby says, "We all love you, Dad." I never understood what love was. And I said, "I don't care what they think anymore." So then I sort of thought of what love was, and I thought, oh, respect, eh? So I used the word respect. There's this love, it doesn't hit me, touch me. Even though a lot of our kōrero, he ha te mea nui, haunga anō te tangata ko te aroha. Aroha anō is a lot of things, multiple interpretation, compassion, wera tumo mā horama. So, yeah, she was my surrogate nanny. I worked on the fishing boats for 13 years out of Tauranga. I came home one day and I was really hungry. Unbeknown to me, my wife had enrolled our children in kohanga reo. So I was really hungry, so I was sitting at the table ready to eat, and he goes, "Papa, what? Whakapiri e?" And I never mind that bloody Maori stuff, I'm hungry. Then I saw the sadness on my children's face. And I went, whoa. Oh, okay, carry on with your thing. Then I saw their face light up again. And I realised I needed to change. So for us to do our fishing, we used to fish up the North Cape, 24 hours steaming from Tauranga. So I enrolled in a correspondence Māori course and was getting, doing my thing. It was all good. Passed the first year, second year, they give you a tape. Back in the day when you had a tape cassette, and then you turn it over and then you talk into the other end. Talk into the other end. Some of you will remember, those sort of cassette tapes. So I thought, oh, man, this Maori stuff's not too bad. And in the year 2000, I heard there was a reo class going in Huria, which is Judea in Tauranga. So I went there. 16 of us were there. They're all from Huria. I was the only tangata rawa, I was the only outsider. But the kraua that was there, he sort of took a liking to me, because they were all trying to speak English, but I really wanted to learn te reo. So whatever reo I had, I spoke to the kraua. So he nurtured me, this kraua. He just went not long ago, Uncle Morehu, ngā toko. But yeah, te ao Māori. So I haven't looked back. I've immersed myself, I'm definitely of the adage, what you put into a kaupapa is definitely what you'll get out of it. And nā ka haere half pai, nā ka puta half pai. If you go half pai, there's expect that. Whānau? Into again?
Yeah.
Nā.
Hi.
O ranuaia. Ao. For mau ki te ao. I like doing play on words. Anei ko te pō rarurai. When I was in those dark, sad, gloomy spaces, I actually got caught by this maunga called Moa. Mo is being caught by the light. He had a similar journey. He was a no-name in the beginning. Ingokore. And he fell in love with Pūwhenua, who was the Princess Maunga, but she was already betrothed to o tāne Wainuku, the rangatira. So he thought, oh well, I can't have her. He called the Patupairehe, or Tūrehu we call him, to haul him to where he stands today. He was caught by the light because these tūrehu and patupairehe could only work in the cover of darkness. So they had to shoot back to the ngahi. So Moa stands where he stands today. hei tūtei as a sentinel for our people. He was a no-name, but he's more known throughout the motu than the other two, than Pū Whenua and o Tāne Wainiku. So that's the play on words, travelling through these dark spaces or sad spaces to finally be caught by the light. If I hadn't gone to Tauranga, the majority of my bros are either in Perry or they're getting out. If they're not in there, their kids are going in there. Their kids are, another generation, even 3 generations are in and out of there. Mo te aha. That's why I'm wanting to get our soldiers back for our marae. They're doing away with a lot of, they're talking about this more the punitive action than rehabilitating. Because the rehabilitation works. We know it works. That's our way. That's how we work it. Yeah, I had no understanding of Te Ao Māori growing up. I remember going to a marae once in Waitara, Manu Korihi, as a kid, and I had the death grip on my nanny. Don't let me go, Mum. I'm scared of all these witches. They used to call them the black power, because they're all in their blacks. And they're scary. Don't let me go, Mum. I won't let you go, boy. Yeah, that's the only time I remember going on to a marae. I never heard the reo around me. As I said, we were moved into urban areas, the pepper potting, where they mixed the races. We had Asian, Islanders, Māori, mainly Pāhara, but they were all our aunties, they were all our cousins. The whole street. Understand that? There was no Asian this, Islander this, Māori this. They were our aunties, our uncles, our whānau. So, I always had a raru on this kōrero. This whakatauaki no tāu, no tātou. Hea te mea nui o te ao nei, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. What is the greatest gift in the world? It is people, it is people, it is people. I never understood that. So I'm saying you will never understand a lot of our stuff if you just read it and hear it. You have to walk it. Yeah? So now I realise, ki te kore te tangata, ore kauke ngā kaitia. Ki te kore te tangata, ore kauke te reo. There's no people, there's no reo. If there's no people, there's no kaitiaki of kaupapa, kaitiaki of our own. Ne? He tangata, he tangata. So tēnā koe Harry, I never actually saw it as, I heard you use the other word crew. I actually started bringing that word in. Crew click as opposed to gang. But people, he iwi, they're actually ours as well. They're all part of us. Nah. My kaupapa, I'm doing my thesis on hea te mea nei nā te manatāna. What is this thing called manatāna? We hear of mana wahine, we hear of wahine toa, but we see that in action from our kuia, from our wives, from our mothers, our aunties, our nannies. But manatāne, this was manatāne. This was manatāne. That's all we knew, our generation. And as I said before, if you didn't adhere to this or if you couldn't, you just sit down and you just nod your head. But as I said, some of us are stubborn and got a lot of hiding. But I learned from them. You learn from them. So, now, I'm trying to get, I talk for Tāne Māori. I'm involved in a group called Te Kāhui I Te Rangi. It used to be called Te Kahu I Te Rangi. One of our kaitiaki is a hawk in the sky. But because our group was getting bigger, one of the kuia goes, why don't you call you Te Kāhui I Te Rangi? the great gathering of the heavens.